I remember the first time I saw the Rockies. Boy, do I. I was alone. But these three guys picked me up. Pretty soon things began to look a little bit different. You know what those guys did? For a living, I mean? They played. Yeah, they were professionals, but they played. They toured around to different ski areas for the people at Olympia Beer, putting on hot dog skiing exhibitions. They'd hit Taos, Park City, or Crested Butte, say. Then they'd rest up and go on to places like Winter Park or Breckenridge or Snowbird. All of them, up and down the Rockies. I mean, what a life. Unbelievable. Isolation, beauty, mountains. Wow. The Ole boys were a part of it wherever they were. Naturally, they were forced to ski in some of the world's prettiest country. And man, could they ski. Like along Kachina Peak at Taos, where they were skiing just for the heck of it. Pure fantastic. Me? I didn't know my parka from my ski poles. So they just decided to plunk me in the first ski school we came to. Breckenridge, I think it was. Well, the instructors told me about something called GLM, the graduated length method of learning to ski. I had a little bit of trouble mastering it at first. But my buddies, between watching me and doing their own things, had a great old time. Real jokers, those guys. I decided to hang it up for the time being. A day or two later, up at Crested Butte, all I could do was stand there and be envious. The skiing was out of this world. I think I must have envied, 500 people that day. My pals decided to put me on the level and let me try cross-country skiing. They promised it just amounted to a little leisurely touring. Oh, boy, a little leisurely touring. And then I saw her, Carol, the girl I'd met on the plane. So I excused myself politely and set out after her in graceful pursuit. She was the kind of girl you really dream about. Anytime, any place. Oh, well. The Ole guys sized things up and said it was time to get my mind off Carol and onto something else. So we headed out again. This time, to get a little Rocky Mountain therapy. A couple of mornings later, I had my first really close look at men against deep powder. Well, I figured I was still a day or two away from being able to hack that. So I kept on taking things at my own speed. And other people were taking all kinds of other things at their own speeds, too. It got so one could hardly tell everyday life from a winter carnival. Man, was it fun. I think everybody had a good time. Man, those horses really were good. Kids laughed, played. Now, life was beginning to settle down, though, into a great rhythm of travel, ski, travel, ski. What more could you want? And I was doing pretty well at both. And then I spotted her again. Carol. Would you believe that smooth old Danny got shut out one more time? But on the slopes, the Ole guys were setting one fantastic example. Something to think about. Something to work at. Something to shoot for. By the time we got to Winter Park, I was skiing as well as any 5-year-old veteran. And from what I could see, the Rockies were full of 5-year-old veterans. Now, after that kind of exertion, it was time we all had a break. So we took one at a happening called Winter Skull. 3 different ski areas and 5 wild days and nights. And whoops, it happened again. Have I already said, oh well? Oh well. Ski joring, ski splash, you name it, they had it. But the winter skull went on and on. And at the end, I went with it. And yet another area. The beautiful people were doing a lot of beautiful things. On skis and elsewhere. I was then met by 2 lovely young ladies. And we proceeded to have dinner. But after looking at the menu, I made a strategic withdrawal. When we finally got back down to skiing, they were grooming those slopes like they were thoroughbred horses. Lots of people taking a powder. So that's the way it went, day after week after month. And suddenly one morning, there was Carol again. Along with the guy who turned out to be her season-long escort. Oops. Pardon me. Well, it was nice knowing you. So the Oley boys dragged me back to work again. And by this time, we were in Snowbird and Park City. And they just kept flashing their razzle-dazzle. the season was about over for me, but there was still a little icing on the cake. Because on my way back home, I tagged along with the Olies, who were off to the hot dog championships. Hot dog skiing. What they say it's all really about. I wonder. I mean, maybe I could try a little of that ballet stuff myself. Or, maybe an aerial or two. Or maybe just watch and try again another year.
At the start is Mike King of the Olympia demonstration team. Mike is skiing on head skis and Hansen boots and has been a top freestyle contender all year long.